Hello everyone and welcome to Miranda Detailing. In today's video, I am going to highlight some of the interior tools that we use to detail the interior of a vehicle. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our viewers and subscribers for helping us to reach 1,000 subscribers. I know it's small beginnings, but it's big for us since I started this channel last fall. So thank you to all of you who enjoy our channel, who like it, who have subscribed. Continue watching, we have more stuff on the way. It starts with this little nozzle right here. When I'm vacuuming, that's usually the bulk of the interior that's going to be cleaned, and this little nozzle really does make it easier. So it has the nice little stiff bristles here, and it attaches right to the rigid vacuum hose. That little nozzle that is on the end of the hose comes with the rigid vacuum. So fits on there perfectly. I love these brushes and I find them at thrift stores. I know I have the links down below for many of these tools, and I'm gonna search Amazon to see if I can find, I think I do have all of them that can be found on Amazon anyway. This one I found at the thrift store, but luckily it can be also purchased on Amazon. So this is an awesome brush to use for interior carpets and upholstery. It flicks up all the little dust particles so that you can brush them and vacuum them up as well. So this little tool is awesome. The next one you've seen me use is, again, made by Hoover, and again I bought this at a thrift store, and it has these little rubber slats here, and they're already starting to wear down. But these are what catch all the little dog hairs, and then they can be sucked up, of course. So this is designed for pet hair removal, dog hair removal, and I love this thing. So again, I think I've had this for about a year, and I need to buy a new one because these little rubber slats wear out eventually. You can see that they used to be a lot larger and now they've worn down. So just a word of caution with these is if you're too aggressive with your vacuuming, these will start to come apart. So you just gotta be careful that they don't do that. But I will have a link for this down below also. Now the next little brush brush attachment I haven't used in a while, but I do like it. This came with the rigid vacuum. Now in the previous models of the rigid attachments, they had this one with the white bristles that's softer, and they had another head that looked just like this with black bristles that were stiffer. For some reason they don't have that one anymore, they only have this one. I like the other one better, but this one does a good job as well. And I like how it's kind of low profile. You can actually use these to get into the backs of the vehicles with sedans that have the rear window, and if they have that carpeted area behind the back seats, which I hate, they should always make them plastic so that they can wipe them down easily. But if it is carpet, you can use this little guy or this guy, but this has a lower profile and it can sneak in there a little bit better. So another really good tool. You can't buy this separately though. You have to get this with that kit with the orange rigid hose and this nozzle, which is my favorite long vacuum nozzle. So it has the little bending tip. This is rubberized. This can kind of get dog hair and pet hair up, especially in those really tight areas between the seats, but it's not really designed for that, but it can help. So this also comes with the rigid vacuum kit, and I'll put that in a link below. So these two come together, and I believe there's a few other little accessories that come with it, but these are my main two that I use. Now, I also have other longer nozzles that I use. Again, bought these at the thrift store. I think there is a link to this on Amazon. I'll see if I can find it and put it down below. But I have found maybe 3 or 4 of these over the past few years. It is made by Hoover, and I think it belongs to one of their upright vacuums. But this nozzle is amazing because it's so thin. So you can really get into those crevices between the seats really well. If you're cleaning in front of the seat and you want to get in those little tracks and channels underneath the seat, you can do that with this. And also behind the front seats, you could also get to all those little tight areas with this. So as mentioned by, I think, Wilson Auto Detailing, which I do follow and enjoy his videos, he does mention to sand these down. Really, really good point. Because I've had a few of these over the years that have this seam down the middle, and they will split and crack, and then they'll start to snag and break apart. And since this nozzle is so long, I've had it where this edge, this tip here, was so raggedy looking, it was so ground up, that I actually just took a saw and cut a new one just down below. You know, I took an inch or two off, and I kept doing that until it was too short, and I threw it out and found another one. But you can saw it off and then use sandpaper to soften those edges so that they're nice and soft and not snagging on anything. So that's a good tip to do. This one you can kind of see it's starting to do that. Let's see if I can focus. Not focusing. I'll force it. Okay, there you go. So you can kind of see how it's looking kind of jagged around the edges. You don't want to rub that against leather or softer fabrics because it will snag. It will tear at it. So, but I have multiple nozzles like these that I keep around for all sorts of jobs. Now, another tool that I use that you will see me use with those longer vacuum nozzles is this little brush here. Now this I have in the description down below, and I love this brush for getting into those tracks and channels of the vehicle, the chairs, and you know, that area in the front seat between the armrest to the center console, that area is so difficult to get to. So using compressed air, which I do use my compressed air gun, which I also have a link to that down below. It's one of the best ones that I've used, and it has multiple tips that you can exchange out, longer ones, shorter ones. But use that in conjunction with these brushes, and I do have a smaller one here. I think you can get these at Walmart also. They're kind of hard to find. If I do find them at Walmart, I buy multiple ones because they're just a few dollars. But I have a link to this one down below also. This is actually a grout brush, but the bristles are stiff enough to be able to agitate the carpets, but gentle enough for plastics too. So I can use it never on seats or chairs or anything like that, but you could use it down below the kickboard, on the bottom of the doors. You can use this with APC. So those are good brushes to use. Of course, I do have my drill brush that I use, and I have another one on my drill over there, but I don't use these for the interior as much because they do flick up a lot of particles and can make more of a mess. So I use these on carpets outside of the vehicle, the mats. So I use it on those because when I'm using with the drill, it's going to flick up a lot of particles and make a big mess. So, but it has its place, and I do use it for really difficult sand and particles and dirt in the carpets. Use this brush, it's amazing. So, as far as dog hair removal, so I have that other nozzle here that I use. I do use the Puma Stone every once in a while. Some fabrics don't like it, and it hurts the fabric. It'll scratch at it. Be careful with this around plastic components and metal components. It will scratch because it's really rough, but it does work. It's actually really good for that velour-y fabric that holds a lot of lint. Just be really gentle with it, and it will pull all that lint off of the fabric. And I do use this not as often, but these, if nothing else is working, I'll try to use this, but usually this does the trick almost all the time. So awesome nozzle to get. Now I have my variety of brushes that I use. I will have links to all of these down below as well. So this one has been worn down. It used to be out to here or so, and it's been worn down, but I use these for interior cup holders and interior components with APC cleaner, using it as a wet brush to clean. It's excellent. Now I have these little skinny ones that I use for hard to reach areas, and you see I wrapped them in electrical tape because the heads here are metal. So these I believe are like paint brushes, and they have metal up here, so make sure to wrap those up so they don't scratch anything. And now I have a set of these brushes, which they're pretty good. I thought the bristles were going to be softer, but they are synthetic stiff bristles. I mean, they're not really stiff. They're still fine for dusting an interior. They're not going to mess up anything, but I just wanted them to be a little softer. But that's okay. These still clean really well. If you have a gross vehicle that you're cleaning plastics with, and those little cup holder rings and all those little difficult parts to get to, APC and these will really work well. And then I have a couple of these other boar hair brushes that I use for dusting, and I usually don't wet these. I will strictly dust with these. So I have different lengths, different thicknesses. These ones are nice boar hair. These are soft. I have links to all of these down below as well. I think these two are my most used, and I love these. And this one too is really nice for dusting large areas. So those are some of the brushes, and I have tons and tons of these that I'm always using. Another go-to carpet brush, of course, this one's popular. Great for carpets, and also you can use this on upholstery. Just be careful with it, but you can use it on upholstery to agitate on that like tough canvasy type upholstery. But I love this brush as well. So another brush, I don't have my steamer here with me, but you've seen the steamer that I use, the McCulloch, the largest one that they make. I have a link to that one down below as well. But I do like the little triangle head attachment that it comes with, and works really well cleaning carpets and upholstery. Sometimes I'll put a microfiber on it and elastic and hold it there because the microfiber will draw up and absorb some of the stains and gunk and gum, like in one of my videos I'll put up here. But it's a great attachment to use for the steamer to agitate carpets and get them really nice and clean. As far as leather cleaning goes, I have two different brushes that I use depending on the severity of the dirt and the grime on the leather. This one is a stiffer bristle brush. You wouldn't want to use this on more delicate leathers because it's aggressive. But this one is one of those shoe polishing brushes, but it's a softer horsehair, I believe, 100% horsehair. But this is great for cleaning leather as well. And you've seen us steam the leather, spray the APC, steam it, use these brushes to agitate, then wipe clean with a wet microfiber to rinse it and get rid of all the residue on there. So these brushes, great for leather cleaning. I have other various brushes that, just little cheap ones you can buy at dollar stores, but they still work really well. These nice short stiff bristles are good for agitating nasty carpets. They work really well. Now as far as our cleaners, I do have a lot of different interior and exterior cleaners. I do use Super Clean. I do like that product. It's great on exterior tires and wheel wells and all the grungy areas. I dilute it 1:4, which is pretty strong, but I like to use it at that dilution ratio, so I have that here diluted in the bottle. I'll use that every once in a while for interiors, carpets, and upholstery. I recently bought some 3D, because I like 3D's products. This is their shampoo. This is their carpet and upholstery shampoo. This is different from one of the other ones that I bought that is their extractor shampoo. I think they're kind of the same. One is more viscous than the other one. The carpet and upholstery shampoo is a little bit thicker, kind of smells like lemons, like a nice citrus scent to it. cleans great, and then the extractor shampoo kind of has a jasmine scent to it, and that one cleans just as well. The only difference is the carpet and upholstery shampoo, the thicker one that smells like lemons, is a higher foaming formula, where the extractor shampoo obviously would be low foaming for the extractor. You can actually put it in the extractor and use it that way. I don't. I spray it, agitate, use the extractor to rinse and get rid of any residue in the carpets. But both are great cleaners, and they can be diluted 1 to 4 or 1 to 10. And then I recently bought 3D's, I forget if they call them their nano drums, I believe is what they're calling them. It's super concentrated in a gallon form, and their Super Citrus APC, the 3D Super Citrus, is what I have in here. And the dilution ratio on those are off the charts. I believe it cost me about $60 for the gallon, which is a lot, but for 1 gallon of product, you only put in 4 ounces. Do the math. I didn't really do the math. I forgot to do that before I put the video up. But you can do the math. It's a crazy dilution ratio, and it's still very strong. When you're spraying it at that dilution ratio, which is considered their strong, it can make you cough. So be careful not to breathe that stuff in. It is extremely strong, but it works great on carpets and upholstery and everything else as an APC cleaner. So I believe that's going to do it for our interior tools. Of course, I have my air compressor and the blowgun that I use, the steamer, the vacuum, that's the rigid vacuum that I also use. So with all those tools combined, you can really clean the interior of a vehicle extremely well. There's other tricks and tools out there like the Tornador and all those other ones. They can work as well. I used to have the Tornador, just the blow nozzle, not the one with the solution bottle below it, but just the blowgun itself, and it broke on me and I have to get another one. But my compressor really couldn't handle the one with the bottle of solution. It didn't have the volume of air. But the other one, that little blowgun, did really well. So I'll probably get one of those in the near future also. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If I missed anything, if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, like it, share it with others who have also or who will also enjoy videos like this. And if you haven't already, subscribe, click that bell and that subscribe button. That way you get a notification each time our videos drop. So I hope you guys have a good day. Take care.